All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Wednesday, April 20th, 2022. I'm going to take you into the close here as April 20th. Tesla is reporting. Of course, they have to report on 420, and Elon will be on the call, so I do not expect him to disappoint. But anyways, hey, if you have not done so already, please like, comment, subscribe, etc. Come follow me on carnivoretrades.com if you like swing trading alerts and analysis. Anyways, here, Tesla, all eyes on Tesla. And really, outside of Netflix, again, if you look at the spiders here, basically just a sideways chop pause day. Same thing with the Russell. Russell's actually positive, and the Dow also up nicely as well. Take a look at the Russell. We gapped above this gap fill area and then kind of faded off. So if you just close your eyes and don't look at the triple Qs, it's actually really just kind of we had an up move yesterday and then kind of a pause today. Here's the spiders. So, an up move and then kind of a pullback pause day. Again, Tesla can really change this. So I'm going to take you into the close. We're going to watch Tesla. Again, Netflix also getting hit, obviously, and down 35% now. 226 here is that print. Look at the volume there. This gets semi-interesting around $200, I would think, but I won't touch it right now. Look at that cutting through the 100-month moving average, getting all the way down. 188, 200. I think that's interesting down there, at least for a dead cat bounce. But Facebook also getting hit in sympathy as well. And I said this yesterday, and I have not so far not heard anyone else say this, but Netflix just set the bar really low for earnings. So, I'm not saying this happens, but, Tesla maybe misses, Facebook maybe misses, but, they could rally anyway, because now it's, okay, well, now we're not expecting anything. The Netflix blamed inflation, obviously they blamed competition a little bit, but another thing that nobody pointed out is they lost a lot of subscribers because of Russia. So it's not like their business model is outdated or anything. Maybe they need to make an acquisition or something like that. They probably should have tried to get a company like Paramount last year when they had the chance. They still could do it now, but even Paramount getting hit as well in sympathy. Disney also taking a hit here. Disney's semi-attractive in the low 120s as well, so keep an eye on that one. But in any case, we'll take a look here at the market. So triple Q's obviously getting hit. I'm watching this trend line on the hourly. I don't have too many notes with me today. It's really Tesla's going to change everything here. But watching this trend line here, if we do rally up, it could, trigger an inverse head and shoulders there on the hourly. But obviously, all eyes are on Tesla. Markets are getting close to the close here. Let's take a look at the semiconductors. Had a nice gap up this morning. Did give back some of those gains. Cloud software was very weak. Outside of Oracle, Oracle had a nice day, even though it came way off the highs. But Abbott reported that stock is behaving well. ASML reported that stock is also behaving well. But the likes of NVIDIA and AMD are not doing too great. Intel did have a nice day also, though. So a bit of a mixed bag for semis. There's the closing bell here. Dow Transport's having a nice day. United reports after the bell. We'll take a look at that in a minute. All right, I'm setting up my charts here to see if the get Tesla up here on my other screens. All right, so Tesla down a little bit after hours. Doesn't look like their earnings are out just yet. I will let you know if I see anything. But anyways, moving on here. So let's look at, home builders. Actually, let's talk about rates first here. So 10-year got up to 2.97 in the overnight, and it did come back in pretty sharply, down 2.5% here on the 10-year. 30-year got hit a little bit more, down 3.7. So, after piercing 3% yesterday, I told you guys months and months and months ago, it's going up to 3%. We got up there. I don't know if these have quite topped just yet. It is a really good start. I think TLT is very attractive down here. Getting into these trend lines here, that 200-month moving average, it should have really good support down there. But I'm not sure if we've necessarily bottomed or if this was just really oversold. It could be either or. It could, come back down and want to tag that lower trend line, but we'll see. I think bonds are getting pretty attractive down in this range, though. But, a nice little rally back up for bonds. If it wasn't for Netflix, that probably would have helped tech out a little bit. A lot of the reason why the triple Qs have underperformed is obviously bonds have been getting slaughtered lately. So with bonds up, TLT up 2%, typically that would, help tech out. But with Netflix getting crushed, that really just kind of threw a wrench into everything. Lam Research also reporting after the bell as well. We'll keep an eye on that, leading semiconductor. All right, let's move on here. So we talked about transports had a nice day. HYG, high yield debt, actually reasonably green today too. So that is an interesting little tidbit there to keep an eye on, as high yield debt is a very important industry group. Financials here, XLF green, stalled out at that 20 moving average. How about Goldman? That 310 level, I talked about that yesterday. So that's up well over 10% now from that 310 level I gave out. So that is a nice move there. XLF did seem to be taking leadership today. Broker dealers also had a nice day, along with high yield debt being up as well. So no real problems there. Although financials have been weak lately, they have, they are potentially putting in a higher low, so maybe finding their footing a little bit here as we get into earnings season. All right, crude. Yeah, so again, crude with these lower highs in this range here. Well, I'm just looking at Tesla here. It looks like we're getting a bid here on Tesla. Doesn't look like it's quite out yet. We did get a little bit of a pop, though. We'll take a look in a few minutes. All right, so crude, we talked about these lower highs yesterday. Again, nothing really too new, but again, if it doesn't take out this pivot, you have a series of lower highs and equal lows. So that tells me that, again, I still have this bias towards 85 bucks on crude. I think that's where it's headed overall, especially if you don't take out this pivot. But, if you do, you do have a level up here at, 113. I've been telling you guys that red bar high, and then in this range here, 113, 115 is going to be pretty stiff resistance. But, if it rolls over again, I do like 85, maybe even the low 80s. If you take a look at the weekly, you got that 50-week moving average right at about 80 bucks right now. So some type of a move down there would be a really good area for a bounce. Nat gas also continued lower today. I told my members yesterday that 680 would be pretty good support for a bounce. It has stalled out there, but it is getting kind of a dead cat bounce. So I'd like to see a little bit more consolidation on this. And ultimately, I think this is headed to 640, 650, somewhere in that range. You got that 20 moving average up sloping, and this is your previous high, and you have this trend line, which has been a really good trend line to follow over the last year. But overall, nat gas pulling back in a little bit. I still think it has a little bit more downside in it. Although it may bounce a little bit here, again, that 680 area was, a good oversold level. If we look at the hourly or the 4 hour here, a nice 54-hour moving average. So again, ultimately, okay, here's Tesla popping up here, $1,000. Now coming back in. Let me see if I can fix this up on our screen here. There we go. So there's Tesla right there. So Tesla getting a bid here. It's trying to hold, hanging in around 1,000. Let's see. So Q's coming back a little bit up to 342 after hours. And so it looks like it's hitting that, that 1,110 area. That was where that red bar is. Not a huge reaction though. Let's see if we can get through that. Here we go. And Elon will be on this conference call, so it'll be interesting to see what he says. I have no idea what the report is. Let me take a look if I can find. Let me see if I can pull up the report here. All right, so they beat on revenue. Looks like they beat on earnings per share and gross margin. Stock coming back in a little bit. All right. Oh, it's turning negative. All right, I'm going to pull this up. We'll get back to this in a little bit. I'll finish up this video here. So we're talking about nat gas. Nat gas came in a little bit. Dollar also pulled back off the highs as well with bonds bidding. So it makes sense as bonds and dollar have had a positive correlation. Got right up to that 101 handle yesterday and now pulling back off of that. Gold, a bit of a nothing burger so far. Did get a bid off the lows. GDX held that 20 period moving average, although this is still really overbought here in the near to medium term. And Sorry, just keeping one eye on Tesla. Now back up to 1,000 there. But sorry, and silver getting up to that 50 moving average, getting a bit off of there. Again, it looks like the SILJ wasn't quite ready to break out just yet. So we had these lower highs here. You tried to break through that, and now getting a bit off of that trend line. But again, did kind of pull back into this range. Still needs to do some backing and filling overall. But I still like the pattern there on silver. Platinum, kind of a sideways to negative day. And palladium now trying to flag. I know I've been saying stay away from this right now, but it is starting to flag up a little bit, so maybe it can push through that 2600 area. We'll have to see if it can mature a little bit more. And copper also holding this 464 area and 50 moving average, so nothing too terrible there, all things considered. All right, let's flip over to Bitcoin really quick, and we'll flip back to Tesla here. All right. Oh, just bear with me 1 second. Okay, doesn't look like I have. Okay, hold on. Doesn't look like I can get Bitcoin right now. Hold on 1 second. We'll just use it on TD. So anyways, Bitcoin coming off of the this red bar here. We talked about that recently. This is basically an area that we're watching, about 42,800. So that's the area there on that red bar high that we're watching. It did come off the highs, but all things considered, generally a pause day. Tesla is settling at about 1010 right now. So nothing terrible. It is up right now. Let's see if it can hold those gains into the after hours. It's bouncing around, but it's trying to hold 1,000 and 1010. And Ether, same kind of deal. So if it can get through this red bar high, you have a good chance of pushing higher. Overall here, you know, nothing terrible on the coins. And if Tesla settles here, it doesn't even have to. See right now, it closed at 977. If it just settles in this range, 1,000, you know, 1010, that's going to be pretty bullish for the market, I think. Again, you take a look at the spiders here, and you know, we had an up move here and really just kind of a pause day. Same thing with the diamond, you know, up move and actually a gap up and then kind of pausing. So a little bit overbought there, and Russell 2000 up and then a bit of a gap up and pause day. So outside of Netflix, this really isn't the biggest, you know, the biggest loss here for tech. You know, again, Facebook getting hit here. It is up a little bit in the after hours. So we'll see what that does on earnings. They report next week, I believe. But overall, you know, if this market can, you know, stabilize and settle here, I think it can hold up here in the near term. As long as Tesla basically holds this area, we're at 1015, 1020 right now in the after hours. So if it can hold this area, I think that can really kind of change the narrative a bit here as far as the big tech earnings. But obviously we have the meat of them coming next week. Now Tesla pushing up towards 1030 here. So getting a bit of a bid. We'll see if it can hold that into the conference call. Anyways, going to wrap it up here. Thanks for bearing with me with the technical difficulties in this video. Anyways, come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow.